Andor Season 2 is an example I will now give to show that there is still a potential within the Star Wars universe to tell great, engaging stories. That's it. That's the end of the review. Bye.
We are professional.
This is a professional podcast.
Yes.
Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul.
I'm joking. There is a lot that I want to break down with Andor Season 2, but I wanted to start by saying that, yeah, Andor Season 2 slaps. With the right direction, the writing, and of course the performances, Star Wars has always had the potential to not only be entertaining action, but also to tell and engulf us in extremely engaging narratives and characters. In Season 2, we are jumped straight back into the action, and this is taking place just after the events of Season 1. I won't lie, the start is a bit of a drag. Cassian gets stuck, Mon Mothma doesn't do much, and even Luthen's a little bit confused on where he's going to go and what he's going to do, but I think this is important to understand. At this point in the Star Wars universe, the Rebels aren't established yet. They are trying to figure out who and what they are. These aren't the organized rebels in episode 3, which is, because episode 1 is Phantom Menace and episode 3 is A New Hope, but episode 1 came out. Okay, this gets confusing. Let's just say the original saga rebels. Empire Strikes Back, A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, rebels. They are organized. They are trying to figure out who they are. They're trying to figure out what their purpose is. They are trying to establish themselves not as a guerrilla warfare fighters, terrorists, as what the Empire would label them as, but as an actual resistance against the Empire. They want to disrupt the status quo. But they aren't just there yet. They make mistakes that cost not only just Empire lives, but their own as well, and civilians get caught in the crossfire. They try to do something similar in Andor Season 2 that they did in The Last Jedi, with the character DJ in The Last Jedi, played by Benicio del Toro, who plays this ship merchant who sells to both the Resistance and the Empire, or the First Order, I should say. And they are always like, oh yeah, I sell to both them and them. They're both good and bad. There's no one who's really good and correct. They're both grey. They kind of do this with Andor Season 2 with the Empire and the Rebels, but they kind of lean it more back to good and bad by the end of the season. Honestly, I think they do a much better job of it in Andor Season 2 than they do in The Last Jedi, but I think that that's a very important establishing trait to the Rebels, because they are making Andor Season 2 about the Rebels and how they became the Rebels and the establishment of this resistance that they make. Because much like The Mandalorian, the main character has sort of taken a back seat. Cassian is not in the focus of this story as much as he was in Season 1. And again, they do that with like The Mandalorian with Din Djarin and Baby Yoda anyway. But Cassian's story is directly intertwined with the creation and the establishment of the Rebels. So his actual storyline is very important to this story. So it's not like he's out of the entire thing. He is still there, but it means that you get more exciting characters like Mon Mothma, played by Genevieve O'Reilly, and you get Luthen, played by Stellan Skarsgård, coming up. They are the two core pillars that created the Rebels, and one does it from the shadows, one does it a bit more in the limelight. But it's a fantastic duality of watching how they both want to achieve the same goal, but ultimately will take it in different ways, and are morally on two different ends of the spectrum. They are both fascinating characters to watch, and I'm not mad that Cassian gets a back seat. He is still super important within this and plays such an important role, but you get these extremely fantastic performances by the other cast members. I think for me, the biggest disappointment of Andor Season 2 is that this is it. There's literally no more Andor after this. It sucks that we won't have anything from here to look forward to for being good, because 2 great seasons mean, yeah, they would have probably pumped out another good 3 to have 5 seasons, which I think was the original plan, but they've stopped it here. And the storyline is kind of leading directly into Rogue One. So if you haven't seen Rogue One, then you probably would have felt very tense in all of the scenes where Cassian's life was in danger. If you've seen Rogue One, you're probably not going to be worried about his life in danger in the series, because it takes before the events of Rogue One where he, gets hurt really badly. But a lot of the storylines either lead directly into the original saga, or they close up quite well, or they lead directly into Rogue One, and I think that it fits in a really good spot within the Star Wars universe, creating that new lore about establishing the Rebels without retconning anything that's already been established, and I think that's a fantastic job that's been done by this team. So yeah, that's it. I've always thought the world of Star Wars is a untapped potential. Yes, it can be silly at times. It can be about two crazy religious orders who have magical powers that like to go at each other with laser swords. It can be that, but it could also be an espionage story that they've done here. It can be as simple as like just, Wild Western shootouts like they kind of have in The Mandalorian. It is full of potential and different options to tell stories in this universe, and I think that's why I really, really do enjoy Star Wars. But it's been a hot minute since we've had good Star Wars, like actually not just good Star Wars, but great Star Wars, and that's what Andor Season 2 is. So if you stuck it out to here, thank you so much for watching this review. Thank you for Disney for providing Quiet on Set with a review copy for us to see it early. I'm super excited to see what everyone thinks about it. I think it's going to be a hit with the Star Wars fans. Man, it's been a minute since it's been good Star Wars, and I really, really hope that there is a potential to go further, because I think today the news dropped that they finally have a title for the Sean Levy, Ryan Gosling Star Wars movie that's being made, and I heard that the Honora actress Mikey Madison decided to not go with that story because she was potentially eyed to star in that film. So Star Wars has been in development hell for the past 8 years. I would love to finally start seeing Star Wars movies being made and not just announced. And not only that, I'd love to start seeing good Star Wars again. Because, man, I really do love this franchise. I think it's, again, untapped potential. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think when it eventually comes out, and I will see you in the next one.